What's up, everybody?
Hello.
How are y'all doing? It's us again.
It is us.
We're the Williams.
Lean closer. You can't get closer.
No, I can't get closer. So this is my wife,
Hello.
Ramona. My name is Wilbert, and we're here again with another edition of Love Unscripted. And so we sound kind of chill because we are.
Right.
We've been in our new home, as we talked about in our last video, for 1 week.
1 week.
1 week.
Has it been a full week?
It's Friday made a full week.
Oh yeah.
So we just want to just come to you. Sorry about not being as punctual as what we normally are. We normally have the video already done, but at some point in time we got to rest, and so we just gave ourselves. We're running on fumes, unpacking, moving furniture, the busyness of moving. It's almost complete, but we still got a little bit left to do. So just pray for us out there.
Pray for a brother and a sister. However, we are here.
We are here. We are here. Once again with another edition. Did I already say it?
Well, let's do it again just for the people
Once
that back
again?
in here.
Love it. With another edition of Love Unscripted. So tonight, we want to just talk about your feelings.
That they matter.
That they matter. And so our title tonight is Your Feelings Matter. They do.
Yeah.
I come from the perspective that your feelings should not ever be dismissed or swept under the rug as though it's unimportant.
Absolutely.
Everyone's feelings matter. It should be feelings that are acknowledged and heard with an intent to understand. And and love that person, love your spouse up to the level of, I know you hear me. I know you acknowledge me. I know you understand me. And then and where you are, the person that's listening, is to be that person who's being genuine enough to say, I hear you. Because some people say, I hear you, but don't hear you.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Some people see you, but don't see you. If you know what I mean.
That's interesting. The statement that you just made, it made me think of, how do you get your feelings heard? Is that a thing? Like, get your feelings heard? Because let's say something came up and you're having either emotions or feelings behind it, and you are expressing your feelings. It made me think like, hey, how are you expressing your feelings?
Yeah,
because
that's good.
Sometimes you may be expressing them in a way that is just difficult for the other person to receive.
That's true.
Right?
It may just be in a way that you understand that the other person don't.
And so I think it could be worthwhile for you even to first recognize that it is important. Your feelings, your spouse's feelings are important. And then secondly, it's important for you to be able to recognize that not only are your feelings important, but it is okay to recognize that, okay, my spouse is having some feelings. Something's going on, and be able to address it. And everybody's different. So having those conversations concerning your, like, hey, let me use myself for as an example. I think I've gotten better with this, but a lot of times I would want to, if I'm having some emotions or feelings, give me a second. Just give me a minute, let me process, let me think through, let me go through my own emotions, because I need to even sometimes recognize that maybe my feelings aren't not accurate. I'm not going to say valid, not accurate for the moment.
That's a good point.
Oh man, maybe I need to make some adjustments. Maybe I don't need to have certain feelings based on what's happening. So for me, a lot of times I would like to self-reflect, take in my feelings, and then see, okay,
good to do that.
What is it that should I be feeling right now? Is it right to feel this way? And once I have, and once I've had that moment, then I'm ready to address my husband in those feelings. But it's important to know, like, how do you want to interact with your spouse when you are feeling a certain way? Do you need a moment? Do you want to just go ahead, okay, nope, I don't need to sit with these feelings, let me go ahead and address it. But if you don't sit with the feelings, you want to make sure that you are not lashing out at your spouse. Or it could be, sometimes it's not just anger, sometimes it's sadness, frustration, whatever, but that they are also in a position to be able to receive you and to interact with you in a way that's going to be productive for your marriage.
So, what she said was a mouthful, right?
Sure did.
But I want to ask the question, are feelings and emotions the same thing? Or are they not? Are they the same or are they not? Are we feeling emotions? Are we having emotions and calling them feelings? Are we having feelings and calling them emotions?
I feel like I need to Google right quick. Honestly, I don't. Are you asking me that or you want to expound on it?
Yeah. Well, here's my thoughts.
I'm going to pull up while he's talking.
Get your phone. Get your phone. Because I believe that emotions.
Take us to school, babe.
Emotions are something that makes you respond maybe in a positive way or in a negative way, which at that point you don't have you have control over, but you don't temper. You don't temper those emotions. You don't
temper, that's a good word.
You don't get them in check. You don't get your emotions in check before voicing your feelings. So your feelings are what you think about a certain thing.
Wow.
That's the difference. That's my own perspective. It's your opinion about it. This is how I feel about it. This is what I think about it. Those are feelings. But emotions there's things building up on the inside of you that all of a sudden you pop the cap on it and you can't get it back shut. And so it's always best not to shake the bottle before you pop the cap. It's best to let the bottle settle. We can have this thing that we call timing, tone, and touch.
Yeah.
So don't walk into a whole conversation emotional. We talk about the dialogue room. The dialogue room is clearly a room that we've shared with you over time and time again, where you go into a conversation and you discuss your feelings without emotions. How you feel about a certain conversation that was said, or a certain word that was said, or a certain action that was done, or a certain look, or a certain attentiveness that you may not have received. All those are feelings. But the emotion says, I'm angry. And I'm just going to be angry. And then when you talk and your feelings come out, it comes out, connected to your emotions. And so you showing those in your tone, you showing those emotions in how you talk. You get rough, you get rugged, you get snappy, you get sassy, and you come off where the other person's like, man, I'm just like, what's going on? Those are emotions.
Okay, so that makes
Here's
sense.
the Google.
Here's the Google, right? And believe it or not, and I'm not going to read it, but there was an article. What's the difference between feelings and emotions?
Oh, wow.
That's actually one. But, Google it, you'll find it. I'm sure it'll pop up. So feelings are an emotional state or reaction. And they gave a second definition, a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. Why did I have to be irrational? And so let's look at, why are we doing a whole lesson tonight?
This is a lesson, oh my gosh.
That educator in me is feeling real happy right now. Emotion, a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others.
Ooh,
or relationship with
I was
others.
Close.
Yes, good
I was
job,
close.
babe. You could have written this article.
Wow.
Right? And so I think it's important to make sure that your emotions are in check.
Yes.
So you can have your feelings, right?
You can voice your feelings.
Voice your feelings, have your feelings, but make sure that your emotions centered around your feelings are in check. Right? And I know we're talking about your feelings matter, but how about it matters also to your spouse
Yes.
when your emotions are not in check?
Come on.
You know, so you go from feelings to emotions, but if you learn to sit with your emotions in a way that your feelings can be voiced in a way that is not aggressive, not mean, then I think
Ooh, this is
I
good.
think a lot of stuff in relationships can be avoided, or
A lot of things that could be
yeah.
traumatic.
Ooh, that's it. Yeah, that can go from 0 to
To
100.
0 to 100.
Where you're sleeping in the bed and you put that pillow in between you.
And you're like, what's going on?
I honestly think those things could probably, as my husband was saying, use that word tempered. And you're not missing out on that special time with your spouse. So really, really important.
Right.
But nonetheless, let's say, because the topic is your feelings matter.
Yes.
So let's say your spouse isn't displaying their feelings in a way that is conducive to, moving forward and having a good evening and having a good day or whatever. What do you then do? Like, what do you do? How do you just like, you know what, girl, I can't deal with all your emotions. Or
vice versa.
Yeah, because I don't always want to make it seem like it's
vice versa. Yeah.
Or do you say, okay, let me take a step back, because we all, and we talk about this often, we all have different experiences. We've come into this world with our own beliefs, or we've had experiences where we were around certain things and we've seen people react and have certain emotions and temperaments, and that has an impact on us. So you take a step back and say, like, man, I want to see how can I help my wife deal with her emotions, because I know it's important that I show her that her feelings matter to me. Or how can I help my husband deal with this, because I want him to know his feelings matter to me. And I'm going to say this, and because I always say that. I'm going to say this one. But that's a heavy load when you think about it. I think that is a heavy... But you smell good.
I do? What?
That's a heavy load to carry, because sometimes when you're having to deal with somebody else's emotions, guess what? Your emotions are still there too, or your feelings are still there too. So that means in order for you to deal with someone else's emotions, you almost have to either, I won't say suppress, but at least have yours at bay enough to be able to suck it up and say, okay, what's the bigger issue here? And then, move forward. I believe, like my husband was saying, the dialogue room is key. Is absolutely key in this area too.
So let me give you an example. Emotions and feelings.
Okay.
Let's say you had a bad day at work and you come home to your wife or your husband and they say, hey babe, how you doing? They want to love on you. They want to show you love and welcome you home, and you just kind of walk the other way. Nothing to do with home. That's emotions. Or you give them like this kiss, like, oh, hey, that's emotions. Don't call that feelings. You done, you done brought that from work. You done brought that from outside. Somebody done crossed you on the road, done cut you off coming home from a long commute. That's emotions. That ain't feelings. That's why you got to keep those things in check. You got to temper those emotions.
So then what do you do? What do you do in that case?
So when you got to know the difference. You got to be able to walk in and say, I know these emotions, I'm bringing them with me. And I know those are things that my spouse they have not done anything to merit that type of emotion, or that type of attention.
Yeah, or that type of response. response.
or
like,
that type of
they're
response.
trying to come in and show you some
Yeah.
love, some foreplay,
Exactly.
so they could get some later
Oh
on.
Lord, she said that, y'all. She said it.
And
But it's a true statement.
yeah.
And so you have to make sure that, you know, when those emotions are controlling your responses, which they shouldn't, you definitely have to make sure you temper those things and say, okay, you know, Lord, help me with this, because, you know, I'm coming in aggravated. I'm upset. I'll give you an example, personal example. You know, I done mowed, we just moved in this home. My wife will tell you, I done mowed this yard. I push mowed
hear
it.
about this a few times.
I push mowed this whole yard, edged it and everything. It took me hours.
He was just trying to prove himself.
I just want to know I could do it. And I did it. But it took me hours to get it done. Now, granted, the yard's looking beautiful. The local lawn care facilities, you know, that take care of the community, came through and did the easement that belongs to the community. Well, along with them doing their side of the yard, they ran through my grass.
Jesus.
And boy, I tell you, after I done all that work, all those hours I done spent.
Yeah, he was hot.
What? I was lit. I was done. But they not only once, they ran through it twice.
I think this is therapy session.
So just letting you know, because you know my wife, she came in and she's looking at me. She goes, "You okay?" But those are emotions that I'm feeling. You see, those are emotions that I'm feeling. But those aren't feelings. Those are emotions that I'm feeling. So my feelings are my thoughts and how it happened and what took place. But the emotions behind it can project the wrong kind of feelings to my spouse, because it did. And so does that make sense?
You see my eye now.
Huh?
You see my eye.
Because I was slow to respond. I apologize, babe.
Oh.
And she wanted to see, but she saw. And once I expressed my feelings about what took place, she understood.
I just let him sleep for 2 hours. Just get it out your system. Get it out your system.
But we've got to definitely make sure we temper our feelings, keep those things in check. Make sure that when you express your love and your genuineness to your spouse, that it's not fueled by the wrong emotions.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense, fellas. Because, you know, just like people say, you know, women are emotional, men got emotions too.
When it comes to the yard, y'all, can I tell you how emotional he was?
It's just different. It's just different things.
Yeah.
That you know causes different emotions to come up between the spouses. Yeah. So just make sure, you know, the tone. Think about tone. Think about touch. Think about timing. Is this the right timing? Is this the right tone? You know, are you having the right tone with your spouse? Are you having the right touch with your spouse? All those things matter. Yeah, your feelings matter.
Yeah. That was so fun. Do you think do we want to say anything else about that?
No, I hope and pray that, you know, what we've talked about this evening, and once again, thank you for allowing us to your home. I forgot to thank you before.
He is so adamant about thanking you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Because I know, as we said in some of the videos earlier, we do believe this is purpose.
Yes.
Driven by God. And it was something that we said that at the beginning of the year that we would make sure that we did. We were just feeling led to do it. And it has blessed us. It has really, really blessed us. And we just hope that it continues to bless others. So yes, he has to thank you because he appreciates you.
I really do. And look, for those of you that have thoughts about the difference between feelings and emotions, drop them in the comment section. We'd like to read those. You know, express your thoughts about it.
Express yourself.
Yeah, you know, make it known. Let everybody know. Hey, this is my thoughts about the difference between feelings and emotions.
Or this is how I deal with certain feelings and emotions with my spouse, or this is how we deal with it together.
Come on.
And you know, I think it's beautiful, something beautiful to be said about when you are dealing with something together with your spouse. I think you will be able to see just a shift in your relationship. Like, this is us, man. This marriage, this is us. This is who we are. It belongs to us. God has given the opportunity for us to be together, and we are going to work this thing out, period.
Absolutely.
Period, no matter what. And so when you get to a space where you're able to say, babe, let us work on this. Let us work on our feelings and emotions. Let's work on whatever,
not mine and yours.
Because we're no longer two, but
we're one. Nice, babe.
I know, right? I did that pretty good. Came out really good.
Yeah.
So, and we are excited about families and marriages and what is to come in the dominion on the earth. We know that there is a lot that tries to come against marriages because there is a lot that God wants to do through a covenant marriage. But, given the opportunity, we can be led by God and sit in our purpose and do what God wants us to do on the earth as we take dominion, right?
Absolutely. And how do we take dominion? By working together, moving forward together.
Yeah.
And just want to let you know that your feelings do matter.
Yes, they do.
So whenever you are speaking to your spouse, and you're saying or your spouse is speaking to you, their feelings matter, your feelings matter.
Yeah.
But remember timing, tone, and touch. Temper those emotions before you begin to express your feelings so that you will convey it in a way that's productive, loving, and with clarity.
That's so beautiful. And so we just speak that into your life. Exactly what my husband just said. We speak that thing into your life.
Absolutely. And we say hope to you all. Blessings to you all. You're no longer two, but you are one.
I feel like we need some outro music.
Love you, baby.
All
right, everyone. Peace out. Till next time.
Bye. We love you guys.